So I recently launched a probe that will exit the solar system. It is on a probably very overpowered. It has way too much delta V for what it needs to do, but there's this. For such a small payload, probably didn't even this big of a first stage, but I was bored and decided to make the biggest one I possibly could. It can get to orbit by itself, and then all three can deorbit themselves and be recovered, and recover most of the funds. Probably around, I don't know, 80% of the funds. Usually, minus fuel. Although if you can land right next to the KSC, then you get 90, upwards of 90%. The top bit has a wrong decoupler stitching, I think. No, it was right before. That's what it was before. It has a ludicrous amount of delta V. I think it's upwards of 24,000 once it reaches orbit. It doesn't have enough electric charge though, so I will have to add more later. It has custom grid fins. Well, not custom, they're based off of someone else's design, but I use them. 27 vector engines on the bottom, and then whatever this engine is called, Skipper, and then a Poodle, and then a 9 Dawn propulsion, and then another 4 on the probe, on the probe core itself. Now, some of the probes are the boosters I haven't recovered yet. They look like this. They have an awful turn time, and they have enough reserve fuel to slow down and land in the right spot. They do have to land in the ocean though, and they risk tipping over, but as long as the engines are recovered, it's fine. Now the probe is somewhere by Joule. There. It's named Master First Stage. It was originally just a test for the first stage, but I needed something to put on top of it, so. Yeah, I have burned through all of the propellant, propelling it up to max speed of 23.67 kilometers a second. I could have added more delta V, but this amount was already ludicrous enough. I could have escaped the solar system with probably half this amount, but it was more just to see how fast I could get going. I'll exit the solar system in about 3¼ years or so. I don't know why I built this. It was just there's nothing else for me to do. And I couldn't be bothered waiting for the electric charge to just completely go up, so I did turn on infinite electricity. This thing does work without turning on infinite electricity, but it's so much faster, and I want to keep it as light as possible. Something bugging out with the mouse there. So I only had 3 RTGs and a couple batteries. There's a couple science modules on here. I just want to see how much science you get from interstellar space, but yeah, I don't know if this antenna will survive that far. I have very few relays set up. I just have, I think, 1 above Kerbin, I believe. So this thing probably won't last very long. Like, it'll last a couple in-game years, but yeah, it'll lose communication eventually. Unlike the Voyager probes, they're running out of power, not communication. Theoretically, if I built a big enough dish, then I should be able to pick up this signal, or this. But once you get out past a certain range, it loses track of it. At least that's what I found. It might not be true, but in my experience, that's what happens. This was just basically to show how big of a rocket I built to just launch this little thing. Well, yeah, that's the end of the video.